In today's video, I bought airsoft brands that you've never heard of. Are these brands a hidden gem and just haven't had their chance to get their name out there yet? Or is there a reason why these airsoft brands aren't widely known? They might be holding a dirty little secret. Our first airsoft gun of the video is a cheap gold pistol from a brand called Galaxy. Yeah, like Mario Galaxy, but without the Mario, just the Galaxy. This golden spring pistol is made up of a fully plastic design, and that should come at no surprise as the price tag is only $16.95. And you know what else is not surprising? Is the performance. This golden little high Kappa replica only shoots
a measly 180 FPS.
Yeah, the FPS is definitely nothing to write home about, but there is a interesting review I saw before I bought this. He left a 5-star review and it's from Zachary. I bought this as kind of a joke, but I fell in love with it. That definitely comes as a surprise, so there's only one thing left to do. Let's test the range and accuracy. We're gonna give this one a little break and start about, I don't know, 30 feet away and see if this can even hit the target. The FPS is not too high, so not expecting too much, but that review was very good, so let's see how it does. Whoa, okay, no problem. Iron sights are a little off. All right, now we're back about 50 feet. Let's try one more shot. A little bit more ambitious for this one. Let's see if I can do it. Now 75 feet. Damn, it's like shooting over the target at 75 feet away. I'm gonna have to aim under just to hit it. Damn. 75 feet, no issues. Really impressive for the range so far for this super underpowered Springer. Now we are 100 feet away. Will this thing be able to hit? Oh, I think I just broke it.
Oh no, it's broken!
We do have a little tiny crosswind, but nothing too crazy. Ooh, it was so close. It went like that far from the right side of the target. Nice! I'm not gonna say I'm gonna fall in love with this thing by any means like the review, but it definitely did surprise me. But honestly, for the price and the capabilities of this one, I would say this one's actually pretty good.
And in today's video, after we test each airsoft gun, I'm gonna give my personal opinion on each of the different brands to see if I would recommend you potentially buying them. So far with the brand Galaxy, I would recommend this one.
We're stepping up size with this next one in the video. This crazy pink M4A1 comes in at $69.95. And by the way, guys, every single airsoft gun in today's video will increase in price. And the last few guns in today's video will be worth over $300. So stay tuned, we definitely have some fun stuff to show you guys in today's video. I cannot believe what the actual brand of this one is called. They literally took airsoft and reversed air and soft. That's right, the brand name of this crazy pink M4 is Soft Air.
Bruh.
Yeah, is that genius or dumb? I guess that's up for you to decide. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. My first impression with this M4A1, obviously kind of a big indicator with the price, but the overall realism and feel of it is not the best quality. Because just like the last pistol we just tested, this one is pretty much a fully plastic design. So the overall weight and obviously realism is at an all-time low with this one, but of course the price tag, that's pretty much to be expected. It's definitely pretty crazy seeing those Colt licensing trades with the crazy pink paint and plastic design. But that's great because even the ugly ones need some love too. What's very interesting is when I actually first purchased this, the website actually said this one was a spring airsoft M4. But after unboxing this one, I saw there was a white battery at the top of the box. And of course, wires sticking out the rear of this one. So I was very shocked to see that what I ordered was not really what I ordered. So it actually might be better overall for this one, but definitely weird advertising on the site, but I guess it's a good surprise. And funny enough, and very not surprisingly, this one has 0 reviews on the website I bought it from. So we're gonna be the first ones, I guess, to test it out. FPS was not impressive, but it definitely could have been worse, I suppose.
Yeah, not really. That's pretty bad.
And of course, with a tiny battery like that, the RPS was nothing to write home about as well. Oh yeah, that's a gimmick. It doesn't even work. And these don't even work either. You can't even take this off either. Pretty much every single feature of this one that you normally could use for an M4 is not working, except for the magazine release. And for whatever reason, you could take this part off. Don't know why you'd want to do that because it's rear wired, but I guess you have the option to fit some fun snacks in there if you get hungry on the field. All right, 50 feet away, this hopefully should hit. All right, not bad. And actually, accuracy is pretty good. Going right where the iron sights are aiming, unlike that pistol. All right, 100 feet away. Let's see if this guy can even get to the target. Damn, really actually wasn't expecting that. The FPS is so low, I'm actually surprised it's actually getting there. Not bad, my little pink friend. But of course, what is the maximum range? If we scoot it back another about 25 feet, let's see how it does at this range. All right, well, we hit one shot out of about like 5 or 10 shots there. And of course, I'm aiming up quite a bit above the target as this one has no functional hop-up that I could find. But of course, if you take this one to the field with this low of FPS, you're gonna get absolutely hammered by other players with even just beginner AEGs. But overall, definitely impressed me. For a backyard toy, this actually would be pretty fun. Sorry, your boy looks like a snowman with this angle. This next airsoft gun is modeled after the famous USP-45. Most of the replicas for the USP-45 in airsoft come in at a pretty hefty price tag, around that $150 to $200 mark. But this one comes in at half the price, only $75. And I actually saw a few other websites that sell this one that, of course, they were sold out when I was trying to buy them, but they actually sold them for around $40. Nice. But of course, it does feel a lot less quality as well, because the plastic construction definitely makes it feel way more lightweight, and I would be a little bit nervous about trying to drop this one while you're playing. But the magazine does seem to be full metal, so that's actually a pretty reassuring thing to feel. So that means I am very curious to see if this is a hidden gem for like half the price as the other ones on the market, or there's a reason why it's at that low price. I can't really find much information on the brand online besides a few of the replicas they sell. They basically sell mostly affordable entry-level airsoft pistols. This one definitely has some quirky features, like a weird 16mm counterclockwise barrel threads. The silver lining is it does come with its own suppressor already in the box. And of course, if you take that off, it actually has a surprise inside. There is an exposed extended inner barrel in there, which is really weird. Usually with these type of airsoft guns, the extended barrel comes from within the airsoft gun, but this one, the barrel is actually in the suppressor. So it's probably not as efficient, but it might work pretty well. We're gonna see if it increases FPS adding that on there, and of course, if the accuracy gets any better. Normally for the other USP-45s on the market, they're known for having a very silent shot. You've probably seen other airsoft YouTubers use this guy for their sniper loadout, and it's a very quiet design. But of course, will this one actually work and be quiet or not? Let's test it out. I'm gonna do 5 shots without the suppressor and 5 shots with the suppressor. Sounds pretty normal, I guess. All right, now let's see if it makes a difference. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, that's actually pretty exciting. I wasn't expecting that. It actually is lowering the volume, I believe. Here's what it sounds like not suppressed. And here's what it sounds like suppressed.
The chronograph started off pretty normal. Without the suppressor on the USP, the results were pretty consistent and pretty average for a gas-like pistol. But then things changed quite a bit when we put on the suppressor.
Yo! That made a huge difference. Damn! I didn't expect it to make that big of a difference. That's like a 100 FPS increase almost. Damn.
Alrighty, here's the deal with the shooting test. We first tried to see if the airsoft gun would improve the accuracy, or maybe even the range with the suppressor or without the suppressor. At 75 feet, this thing absolutely did amazing with both the suppressor off and on. But for some reason, maybe it was just me, but about 100 feet away, I'm pretty sure this thing actually performed better without the suppressor, which was very confusing. It was a little windy this day, but overall from what I was seeing, anything over 100 feet, you're definitely not gonna really have any luck with.
Bruh. I think it's shooting better without the suppressor. What the f? But overall, yeah, there is a reason why this one is priced at half of the other ones on the market. This one not only feels cheaper, but also performs worse as well. I wouldn't necessarily classify this one as a bad airsoft gun. For the money, I would just more say the price tag makes sense, especially between that $40 to $70 range. But if your dream pistol is this guy and you are balling on a budget, I wouldn't necessarily look away from this. It just definitely isn't as good as the other ones on the market. That half price tag makes sense. Alrighty, no more messing around. Check this this guy out. This one comes in at a pretty hefty price tag for a pistol. This one is $180. The model is the BDS9 and it's fully licensed by something called RWA. And the actual brand name for this one is Nighthawk Customs. After some research, I saw that Nighthawk and RWA mostly manufacture higher end airsoft pistols and parts. So lucky for us, this thing should have some good potential. I'm just hoping because those last airsoft guns were not good, but at this price point, we should be getting lucky hopefully. To start this one off, let's talk about some of the crazy external parts included. It has a durable die-cast aluminum construction, polymer constructed grips, ambidextrous thumb safety, internally threaded barrel for, of course, threaded adapters, an RMR, RMC, and K footprint ready, which is a fancy way of saying you can mount a red dot sight on that little plate. It has raised blacked out suppressor height sights. It does have a really nice red color on the front iron sight so it's easy to see. It has lightning cuts on the slide itself to make it lighter. This makes it easier for the slide to go back and forth, overall better cycling speed. And last but not least, we have the MIM steel hammer, magazine catch, recoil spring guide, and sear unit. And one thing they forgot to mention is there is a little pink thing on the actual magazine itself, which leads me to believe that is a aftermarket part as well to help with the actual gas efficiency of the magazine.
Whoa, I just noticed this. I've never seen this in my life. I thought this was like a lubrication, but no, this is like a plastic wrapping over the outer barrel. That's so weird. I don't know why they did that. Maybe to make this slide easier on the outer barrel, or maybe they just forgot to unwrap the outer barrel. That is really weird. I've never seen that before.
Lots of fun parts to say the least with this actual airsoft pistol and a very nice little flat trigger. This brand actually makes a model that's almost $2,000. And usually when brands sell very high quality products and expensive products, it trickles down to the lower models as well. So I'm hoping this thing is going to shoot well. Of course, all those fancy features and nice externals are one thing, but the most important thing is of course how this thing shoots. Not only did it have some good results for the FPS side of things, it also was relatively consistent as well. But now for the challenging part, a real world test. To see how this pistol performs, let's first start off with the trigger response. Definitely a fast enough recoil to be competitive on the field. Now let's go to 75 feet away and test for a realistic nice headshot test. This will definitely give us some good data on if the accuracy is good.
Damn. All right, that was easy. One shot.
After seeing this, it definitely makes me confident taking this one to the field. But of course, to really stress this one out, let's go to a further distance to really seal the deal and see if this thing is good. We're going to challenge this one at 125 feet away.
It definitely took us a few tries to get a good shot at 125 feet. It was a little hard to make a concrete conclusion just because it was a little bit windy. Yes. But for me, it definitely seemed to struggle a little bit at this distance. But we did a prior test at 100 feet just to see, and that was way easier to hit the target.
So I'd say the extreme accuracy range is about 75 feet, but you could definitely easily hit someone about 102, maybe 125 feet away. Definitely the best one in the video so far. I would hope so because it's $180.
So would I recommend this brand? It is a little pricey, but you get lots of really cool features, externals and internals. It's not going to be the most insane performing pistol on the field, but for a stock pistol, it's very good. But if you're in the market for a little bit more of a pricey sidearm, I definitely wouldn't skip past this brand for one of your options. So far, I actually like all the brands, but the next few in today's video are definitely a little difficult. So things are definitely going to take a turn for the worse. Make sure to stay tuned to see what happens.
For the next one up in the video, we're switching things up with an airsoft shotgun. The brand for this crazy pink shotgun is Hwasan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that one right. And the model name is just the double barrel gas shotgun. I guess it makes sense. That's literally what this is. You heard me right. This bad boy not only is a double barrel shotgun, but it's also powered by gas. Before we get too excited and talk about the features, let's talk about the brand first. But there's a small issue. There's not really much information on the internet about this brand, besides a super generic sentence on the website I bought it from. Hwasan designs and manufactures airsoft replicas and accessories. And that's about it for the information on the brand. But I guess it does make it a little bit more fun because this one is, I guess, a little mystery. We're gonna have to be the ones to see how this brand really is. Before we go on to the actual testing, let's go over some of the features. It has a full metal frame and barrel assembly. And of course, that really obvious pink polymer grip and handguard. Really cool enough, actually on the handguard, there is a built-in 20mm rail for mounting accessories, which you really don't see with these type of shotguns. It has a dual trigger double barrel design, which basically means the right trigger right here goes to the right barrel and the left one goes to the left barrel. So you could shoot both of the barrels at the same time, or of course one at a time. And of course comes with 2 high-powered gas shotgun shells in this really cool blue color. Each shell can hold 6 BBs at once, and then to get in the gas, you're gonna actually need to disassemble the shells and put the gas right here. So that means with these shells fully loaded up, you could shoot 6 BBs per barrel or 12 all at once if you pull both the triggers at the same time. But that does mean chronographing this is gonna be a little tricky. We're gonna need to put 1 BB in each shell at a time. And of course, carefully try not to destroy the chronograph. I really hope the left trigger is for the left barrel or this chronograph is gonna get blown up. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, 261. Definitely was expecting a little bit more. One more shot. Whoa, that was like super delayed. Okay, I'm pretty confused. The first shot was like 200 something. The second shot was 360. And on the website I bought this from, it said the FPS is gonna be between 400 and 500. So let's go do some more shots and see if we can get any consistency whatsoever. Here goes nothing. Ooh! Damn, that RPS ain't no joke though. Okay, let's do one more shot. Damn! 73, but why is there more numbers over here now? Is it like broken? Did I break the chronograph? Oh no. Damn, bro! 11115? All right, yeah, this thing's not very consistent. We got anything from 70 to 1,000. I'm just gonna say it's probably about 300 FPS, but I have no idea, I'm not a scientist. Okay, now let's go on to the actual shooting test, but there is one drawback with the shotgun. It does have a fixed hop-up design, which means the range is gonna be quite limited. And of course, it is a shotgun after all, so I'm not expecting anything crazy with the accuracy. But who knows, this might surprise us. Let's go ahead and test it out.
And surprise me, it did. One of these shells almost immediately broke. I got like 1 test shot on the target and then this thing was just done.
No, just doesn't work. Oh my, the shell just ejected out all the way over here. Oh my gosh. It's super weird too, because if you take a screwdriver, ooh.
So the whole rest of the shooting test, we only had 1 working shell. But the positives were the range was actually not too bad, at least for a couple of the BBs out of the 6 every shot. But the accuracy was...
Damn, really bad.
And of course, soon after this, the second shell broke as well.
Damn, come on. Work, boy. Yeah, I think this shell is broken. Oh my gosh.
I guess trying to be positive, the gun itself was pretty cool. It felt pretty nice for most of the construction, but overall for the package, value, and performance, I can't say I'd recommend this brand, at least for this product.
I bet you have not heard of or seen this guy before. This is the Avatar Hornet M25. But if you are a big video game lover and you've played the game Mass Effect, this might look a little familiar. So the brand of this one, like I just mentioned, is called Avatar. And just like that last shotgun, the information online is not very accessible about the brand. It is a bit of a mystery. And this brand really doesn't make a lot of products whatsoever. So testing this is going to be quite a treat. Starting off with the externals, they are made up of a durable reinforced ABS plastic construction. And the internals are a very reassuring thing to hear. It is made up of a Umarex Glock 18C. So not only is that a good sign, but we'll also have access to both semi and fully automatic. Some fun facts is it does have a little hidden switch down here. And if you switch that, it should have a little LED light on it. And that'll peek through right here on the side of the airsoft gun. But for the life of me, I can't really figure out how that works. Is it powered by a battery or do you charge it or something like that? I have no idea, but if you take it apart and look at it, it still makes me even more confused. The kit is basically separated into 3 different parts. You have the stock system back here that basically just easily slides on and off. You could obviously use it in this position if you don't like stocks, but of course, like me and most people, you're gonna want a stock to shoot this one. So that easily just slides right on the body. The other 2 parts are basically the shell itself. It actually splits into 2 different halves. And if you take that apart, you can see the internals. And of course, when you put it all back together, there is a little tiny charging handle system right here where you rack the pistol back. And of course, it comes with the iconic extended Glock magazine from the 18C that holds about 50 rounds. And this one is a fully gas airsoft gun again. This kit doesn't really feel super low quality or super high quality. It's kind of like in an in-between state. So it's kind of complicated with the pricing for this one because this thing is not cheap. You release the magazine with this little button right here. It's definitely not the easiest thing to hit. Yeah, not my favorite design, but it does make it relatively easy to at least change the fire select from full auto to semi-automatic. The only real quality concern I have with this thing, if you would drop it, is if you drop it right on this little like charging handle piece, I would be a little worried it would snap. And the trigger itself kind of feels like something you would have in like laser tag or anything like that. It's definitely not the most confidence-inspiring trigger mechanism, but it is what it is. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see how it performs. Alrighty, so to no surprise, it essentially performs like a Umarex Glock 18C. But that's not a bad thing. This shoots amazing outside of the box, and a pretty impressive full auto as well. And the range test was mirroring the same high quality performance with great groupings at 75 feet. No problemo. At about 75 feet away, let's test it out now at 125 feet away.
After quite a lot of tries, I was able to hit some shots at 125 feet away. But because of the wind, like the other pistols in the video, this guy was definitely struggling at that range. But I noticed the hop up was pretty insane. So we scooted back even further to probably about 150 feet away. And it did take a lot of shots, but we were able to hit one on the target.
But you might be able to use like 3, 2, or even like 4, 6 grams of this thing if you turn the hop up all the way up. Like one tiny little turn and you're shooting pretty much like straight at, I would say, at about 100 feet away. And if you adjust it any more than that, this thing is gonna shoot like super hopped up. But at 100 feet away, this thing's no joke. Trigger response ain't too bad either. But of course, we have one more very important thing to go over with this one, and that's the full auto. Look at that fat ass B, that's a big boy.
Alrighty, here's the deal with the kit. The kit is not super high quality, but it's not bad quality. But that's the issue. The price tag is quite steep with this thing, so if you're paying that much, I would expect them to at least even just paint it like the one in the game. This thing is definitely a collector piece and not really to be played with on the field. It fits a little weird and is a little shaky, and the ergonomics aren't perfect. I definitely wouldn't recommend this to the average person, but if you're a huge Mass Effect fan and you want to paint it yourself, I do recommend something like this.
Next up, we have something pretty special. Are you a huge fan of the M4 platform ergonomics and of course the huge amount of accessories you can attach to it, but you're a huge fan of the style of the banana mag from the AK-47 and can't get enough of those 7.62 rounds, then I have the solution for you. Check this guy out. This is the SR-47. It has all the looks and functionality of an M4 platform with a nice quad rail and the extremely crazy amount of accessories you can add on to the M4, but with the ability to take AK magazines. I am definitely the most excited to test this one in today's video. It is from a brand called Bolt. Bolt excels in bringing realism to the electric airsoft market through their patent-pending Bolt Recoil Shock System, or BRSS for short. Their goal is to combine the advantages of the AG platform, such as performance, consistency, and reliability, with the sought-after recoil impulse from a gas blowback system. This unique feature works by transferring the kinetic energy from the piston cycling to a weight system in the stock to generate the simulated recoil. That cool system is going to cost you a pretty penny. This guy comes in at $325. And before we go into some more information, let's actually talk about the origination of this SR-47 platform. Because why the heck would you combine an AK and M4 platform? One, it was created so that soldiers can actually resupply behind enemy lines. And the second reason is to conceal their presence. Because of course, if there is 5.56 cartridges laying everywhere, the enemy is going to know they're there. But of course, if the cartridges are 7.62 and the rifles sound like 7.62 rifles, then it makes sense why the enemy wouldn't even think twice. Let's first get my reaction to the Bolt system and see if it actually is any good. Pretty cool, you definitely notice it. You definitely notice way more on the full auto as well. Okay, so it's all relative. You're not going to notice the kickback as much as like a, real steel gun, obviously. But in airsoft terms, it's actually not too bad. It's not going to be a crazy recoil sensation in your stock. It's more of like the whole thing shakes back and forth, but it's still pretty cool. But definitely makes it way more satisfying to shoot. Overall, definitely feels a lot better than I thought it would. Will that BRSS recoil system really be worth it? Or are they sacrificing some performance for that cool realism? Well, let's find out.
Bruh.
How the f do you load this? Okay, that was weird. Damn, that's pretty hot. Hopefully if you break it in, it'll shoot under 400 FPS, but yeah, that's a little too hot for a normal field. At least where I live. Seems to be pretty consistent though. Whoa! Not bad. I like this thing. Definitely a lot faster than I thought I was gonna shoot. No problemo with the headshot test. Going on straight back to 100 feet where this thing belongs. Let's see how this rifle really does. The SR-47. Not bad. They look to be flying pretty damn straight. I actually did not expect it to be quite this accurate just because of that recoil system. I thought it'd be just a little bit funky, but honestly, it's pretty competitive. Pretty damn good. If there was no wind, it'd be shooting pretty much straight to the target at 125 feet away.
Now let's go back to 200 feet to see what this thing can really do.
I think I'm definitely gonna need to turn up the hop up. It's kind of interesting. The hop up system definitely looks a little bit more unique than I've seen from pretty much any other AEG. All right. I thought the electric blowback system would mess up all the performance capabilities of this thing, but it's looking like right now it's just kind of like a fun little addition. Semi-Mac is definitely not bad for the response either. That full auto is super fun as well.
So after testing out the brand Bolt, would I recommend it? I definitely would. It's not going to be the highest performing airsoft gun on the field by any means, but it's definitely a very fun airsoft gun to add to your arsenal. It is a bit unique, so I see why people don't really necessarily flock to buy this, but it is really cool. And if you're super into electric blowbacks, I think this is one to definitely look at.
The grand finale for today's video is this super sleek looking M4. Well, that is besides that hideous flash hire they actually put at the end. I mean, look at that thing. That is embarrassing to take to the field. I was unboxing this thing and yeah, that was definitely not expected. This thing is like a whole amplifier. It's so big, it's so hollow, I don't even know. It's really weird. You actually can see the inner barrel actually sticking into it as well. So this thing is very confusing. And also in the unboxing process, I noticed something I don't think I've ever noticed before when unboxing a new rifle. It actually came with BBs already in the magazine. I've never seen that before. I was assuming maybe they would have like record of actually testing this before they sent it to me like some airsoft brands do, but there was no indication of that whatsoever. So I have no idea why those BBs still left in the magazine on a brand new airsoft rifle. That's off to a bad start. This is the SLR B15 from the brand Dytac. My first impression overall was the externals on this one are pretty sleek. The design on the rail, the receivers, everything seemed pretty high quality. Real quick before we talk too much about the features of this M4, let's go ahead and talk about the brand Dytac itself. The Dytac team has over a decade of experience in airsoft manufacturing and computer-assisted product development and design. Definitely sounds fancy to me. And the rest of the summary for the brand is basically just saying that they try to keep up with the firearm industry and try to apply it to airsoft, of course still keeping in mind the restrictions of airsoft. And now let's go to the features. It has a full metal aluminum alloy billet style receiver with SLR rifle work trademarks, a flat trigger design, a 6.75 SLR M-LOK handguard with QD sling swivel attachment points, a sleek 4-position adjustable PDW style stock, and according to them, a Palmer aggressively angled pistol grip that matches current popular shooting angles. Oh yeah, and this one comes in at $330. Does the performance match up to the price point, or is it just more about the external look? Let's put a battery in and see how it does. This is a PDW design, so the FPS shouldn't be anything crazy.
At first we had some really weird inconsistencies with the FPS, but about after 10 or 20 shots, it started to level out at a pretty normal CQB FPS.
And that's pretty much what we were seeing right here, pretty good for CQB fields. But now let's see about that RPS. Woo, 19.6.
Not bad, almost 20 rounds a second. Let's first see if this thing has like a nice crispy amplifier sound with this crazy flash hider. Yep, little popping sound. It kept like tripping up the semi-automatic when I was adjusting the hop up. It either would go to full auto or sometimes do a 2-round burst a couple times and just keep doing that until I turned it to full auto and switched it back to semi. Then maybe it would shoot auto on semi or 2-round burst again. It would sometimes work, but other times it would just kind of trip up. So maybe this one is only for 7.4 volt. Our headshot test should be easy enough. Yep, no issues. That's the least of my worries with this nice of a rifle. Let's scoot back to 100 feet and see how it does. Nice. Yep, no issues at 100 feet away. Same with 125. I have a feeling just because the FPS and everything, this one's gonna struggle quite a bit at 200 feet away, but let's just go ahead and test it out. I cannot resist. Ding ding, dong dong, ding ding. Sorry, everybody's got issues. All right, we are back here in the beautiful Hollister, California. Let's see if we can hit 200 feet away. Accuracy's bad, especially with the wind, but you can hit this far. But if you want to shoot actual consistent results and not stress this guy the F out, I would say 150 feet is probably what you want to do.
So would I recommend the brand Ditech? I think overall I would, but I just wouldn't recommend this to everyone. I think you have to be a buyer that really likes these externals. There are airsoft guns in this price point that shoot a little bit better and have better internals, but as far as the whole package goes, it's definitely not too bad. But overall, I would recommend it to the right buyer.
Based on you guys finishing this video, I think you guys will like this video. This is my personal recommendation. Or if you want the scary YouTube AI algorithm to recommend you a video, here's one right there. I have to admit, YouTube probably gives a better recommendation than I did, but at least I tried. Without further ado guys, I'll see you guys in the next one.